Like and subscribe. Comment below for more stories on this YouTube channel.
The rain fell in sharp, sudden bursts, splattering against the Lagos streets like impatient drumbeats. Cars honked, vendors shouted, and umbrellas flopped helplessly in the wind. In the middle of it all, Tunde sprinted, clutching his laptop bag, slipping slightly on wet pavement, cursing under his breath. Why today of all days?
Why today of all days? Everywhere I look, couples, flowers, laughter, and me running through puddles like a
Every
fool.
billboard, every restaurant window, every passerby was a reminder. He was alone. He ducked into a narrow side street, hoping to escape the chaos, his shoes slapping against the puddles. That's when he saw her. She was crouched near a lamppost, struggling with a red balloon tangled in the tree's branches, rain soaking her hair, her expression a mix of frustration and determination. Something about her, the intensity, the quiet strength, made him stop in his tracks. Need a hand? He asked,
I've tried
keeping
everything.
his voice casual,
It's stubborn.
though his heart was oddly quick. She looked up, startled. I've tried everything. It's stubborn, she said, a laugh slipping out despite herself.
I'm pretty
I'm
good with stubborn things. Want me to try?
Tunde said,
Sure,
stepping closer.
if you think you can handle it.
His fingers brushed hers as he reached for the string, and for a moment it felt electric, as if the rain itself had charged the air between them. The balloon finally came free, floating above them, bobbing gently in the wind. Thanks, she said, holding her soaked hair out of her face. I'm Ada. Tunde, he replied. He noticed how her smile softened the storm around them, how her laugh made the noise of the city fade, if only slightly. You're brave stepping into the rain for a stranger, Ada said, tilting her head. Or maybe I'm
Especially
just
with good
desperate to
company.
escape my own Valentine's curse, Tunde joked, and she laughed again, the sound warm against the cold drizzle.
I hate Valentine's
that
Day.
feeling,
it mocks
she
people
admitted.
who are alone.
I hate
Then
Valentine's
why are you
Day.
out here in this
It's like the
rain?
world is mocking people who are alone.
Maybe to prove I'm not
Then
afraid.
why are you out here?
Or maybe to
he
see
asked,
if magic still
genuinely
exists.
Curious.
Then I guess I
She
better
shrugged,
try not to
pulling her
ruin it.
jacket tighter. I don't know. Maybe to prove I'm not afraid. Or maybe I just needed to see if magic still exists, even for me. He blinked. Magic? For a moment the city felt quieter, and the rain less like punishment and more like a curtain around them. He didn't know why, but he wanted to be part of this strange, fleeting moment. Want to grab a coffee? I know a place around the corner, he offered. Ada hesitated, then nodded, and together they walked through the wet streets, umbrellas bobbing and slipping, sharing stories between laughter and shivering. Their conversation was effortless yet charged, each word pulling them closer in ways neither expected. Inside the café, the smell of coffee and baked bread enveloped them. Tunde watched as Ada peeled her wet jacket off, her hair plastered to her face, her cheeks flushed from the cold and exertion. There was a vulnerability there, but also a quiet confidence. He found himself wanting to learn everything about her. Tell me the truth,
Tell me,
he said,
why are you really
leaning
out here
forward
tonight?
slightly.
I don't know.
Why are you
Maybe
really
I wanted
out
to see
here
if
tonight?
I still believe in something.
Ada stirred her
Love,
coffee,
maybe.
avoiding his eyes for a moment. I don't know. Maybe I'm tired of pretending I don't care. Maybe I wanted to see if I still believe in something. Love, maybe. Tunde felt his chest tighten. He had said the same words to himself countless times, only never aloud. I get that, he said softly.
I get that.
I've been burned before, too.
so I stopped trying.
So I stopped
yet-
trying.
Sometimes the universe
Their
forces you to
eyes
take a
met,
chance.
and in that silent exchange, something shifted. It wasn't fireworks or dramatic confessions. It was a quiet recognition, a shared understanding of past pain, and maybe, just maybe, the possibility of something new. They talked for hours, the storm outside continuing but distant, muted by the warmth inside. Ada laughed at his terrible puns, teased him for his cautious optimism, and listened as he admitted fears he hadn't shared with anyone else. Tunde realized with a shock that he hadn't thought of his loneliness once while he was talking to her. The conversation turned to music. Ada revealed a love for Afrobeat classics and indie soul tracks. Tunde mentioned his secret obsession with old love ballads. When a familiar tune played on the café speakers, they shared a glance, the kind that carried more weight than words. "You
Do you
dance?" she
dance?
asked suddenly,
Not
tilting her
really.
head.
Then you'll have
"I,
to try now.
not
Here goes
really,"
nothing.
he admitted, cheeks heating. "Then you'll have to try now," she said, standing and holding out her hand. The other patrons glanced curiously as Tunde hesitated, then took her hand.
It's so
They danced
beautiful.
awkwardly at first, laughing, spinning, bumping into chairs, until it didn't matter who was watching. The rhythm of the city outside, the pouring rain, and the soft glow of lights inside the cafe became irrelevant. In that moment, there was only Ada and Tunde, the unspoken tension between them humming like a live wire. When the song ended, they laughed breathlessly, leaning against each other for support. Tunde noticed how natural it felt, how his heart ached with a strange new hope he hadn't expected. "You're different," Ada said, still holding his hand, eyes searching his. "I could say the same about you," he replied. "Different in a good way." She laughed softly. "Careful. That sounds dangerously like a confession." He shrugged, a playful smile tugging at his lips. "Maybe I'm confessing. Maybe I've been waiting for someone who makes the rain feel like it's ours." Ada's eyes softened. "Tunde, you have no idea how much I needed to hear that." They stepped outside, the rain having softened to a drizzle, puddles reflecting city lights like scattered stars. Tunde held the umbrella over both of them, but their hands stayed intertwined. Neither
This rain
spoke
is
for a
perfect for a
while,
walk with
letting
you.
the
I
silence
agree.
wrap
It's so
around
beautiful
them,
and romantic.
comfortable and
Just like
full
you.
of meaning. As they walked, Tunde's phone buzzed. Notifications, messages from friends
This city
teasing
is
him
magical
about
at night.
Valentine's
It
Day.
is, but not
He
as
ignored
magical as
them,
you.
his
Smooth
focus
talker.
entirely on
I don't know
Ada.
what this is yet,
She glanced
but I
at
want to
him,
find out.
smiling
I
faintly.
want that too.
"You're not
I
checking
didn't
your
expect today
phone,"
to be you.
she observed. "Why would I?" he asked, almost incredulously. "I'm right here, aren't I?" She laughed, that light, melodic sound that seemed to settle something restless in him. "I like that," she said simply. At a quiet bridge where the city lights reflected in the water below, Tunde stopped. He looked at Ada, really looked at her, seeing the way the rain clung to her lashes, the way her lips trembled slightly as she smiled. "Ada, I
I don't know
don't
what
know
this
what
is
this
yet,
is
but I want to
exactly,
find out.
but I want to
I want
find
that
out.
too.
With
I didn't
you."
expect today to be you.
Her laughter turned into a soft sigh. "I want that too, Tunde. I didn't expect today to be like this. I didn't expect you." He reached out, brushing a strand of wet hair from her face. "Maybe love doesn't always show up the way we think it will. Sometimes it just appears, unannounced, in the middle of the rain." She smiled, leaning closer, the warmth of her presence settling into him like sunlight breaking through clouds. "Then maybe we should see where it goes." They walked on, hand in hand, rain soaking them both, hearts lighter than they had been in years. Over the next few days, their connection deepened. Messages became constant, calls late into the night, laughter exchanged over silly things, and small secrets revealed. Each conversation, each glance, built a tension that was sweet, thrilling, and sometimes almost unbearable. They were discovering each other cautiously, savoring the moments that made the world fade away. One evening, sitting on Tunde's balcony, the city lights flickering below, Ada rested her head on his shoulder. "I never thought I'd feel this way again," she murmured. "About love?" he asked softly. She nodded. "About you. About us." He felt the warmth in his chest expand until it was almost painful. "I feel the same," he whispered, brushing a hand along her hair. In that quiet moment, Tunde realized that the Valentine's Day storm hadn't just brought them together. It had awakened something dormant, something real and terrifying and beautiful. If you're enjoying this story so far, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment. Let us know what you think will happen next between Tunde and Ada. Your support keeps stories like this coming. Valentine's Day returned faster than Tunde expected. The city was alive, buzzing with neon hearts, vendors shouting offers for roses, and couples laughing as if the world belonged to them alone. But this time it felt different. This time Tunde wasn't alone. Ada was with him. In texts, in thoughts, in the quiet warmth that settled in his chest every time he remembered her smile. He had spent the morning walking through the city, his hands in his pockets, heart hammering with anticipation. Today wasn't just Valentine's Day. It was the day he wanted to show Ada what she had quietly awoken in him: hope, trust, and the kind of love that didn't shout but stayed. When she arrived, Tunde nearly forgot how to breathe. Ada stepped out of the taxi, her hair tied back elegantly, her eyes scanning the rooftop he had prepared. He had spent hours the night before stringing fairy lights, lighting candles, and playing soft Afrobeat in the background. It wasn't a grand gesture like the ones plastered across billboards. It was personal, intimate, a world he had built for just the two of them. Tunde, this is beautiful, she whispered, eyes wide, voice trembling slightly. I wanted tonight to be ours, he said, stepping closer. No expectations, no pretenses, just us. Ada's hand found his, their fingers intertwining naturally, as if they had been meant to fit this way all along. The city stretched below them, lights flickering like a river of fireflies, and for the first time, Tunde felt that maybe, just maybe, the universe had been saving something good for him. They sat, talking, laughing, sharing moments both big and small. Tunde learned about Ada's childhood in a bustling Lagos neighborhood, her secret love for painting, and how she had always written letters she never sent. Ada discovered Tunde's passion for writing music, his awkward attempts at cooking, and the quiet moments he spent alone thinking about the future. You know, Ada said softly, her eyes reflecting the flickering lights, I never thought I'd feel this alive again, not after everything. But you make it easy to believe. Tunde's heart tightened. Ada, I feel the same. I've built walls for so long, and somehow you've made me forget why they were there. She leaned into him, resting her head on his shoulder. Then let's forget together, she whispered. The night deepened, and so did their bond. They shared stories, fears, and laughter, each moment escalating the tension between them, each glance and touch stirring a quiet fire. They danced slowly, barefoot on the rooftop, the city below them moving in its chaotic rhythm, while their world existed in the soft glow of candles and fairy lights. Hours passed unnoticed until Tunde finally stopped, lifting Ada's chin to look into her eyes. Ada, I don't want tonight to end without saying this. I love you.
I love you.
Her eyes glistened with
I love
tears
you
she hadn't
too.
realized had formed. Tunde, I love you too. I think I've been waiting for this, for us, without knowing it. The kiss they shared wasn't sudden or rushed. It was the culmination of weeks of growing closeness, of laughter and vulnerability, of storms and quiet moments that had built an unshakable foundation. It was the kiss that made the city fade, that made the world outside their rooftop irrelevant, that made them certain that they had found something worth holding on to. In the following weeks, Tunde and Ada navigated the delicate, thrilling early stages of love. Every text, call, and shared glance carried weight. They learned each other's quirks, teased each other relentlessly, and sometimes argued over silly things, only to realize that compromise and understanding were part of the beauty of being together. One evening, Tunde took Ada to a small art exhibit she had always wanted to see. He watched her eyes light up as she explored the paintings, listened intently as she spoke passionately about colors, emotions, and stories behind the brushstrokes. At one point, she turned to him, her expression soft. You really see me, don't you? I do, he said, gently taking her hand. I see all of you, Ada, and I want to. She smiled, leaning into him. Then don't ever stop. They became inseparable, each day building upon the last. Tunde noticed how even mundane moments, walking through markets, sharing lunch at a quiet café, catching the sunset, felt extraordinary with Ada by his side. Ada noticed how Tunde's presence could turn ordinary evenings into memories that lingered, how his laughter could ease the heaviest of her thoughts, and how his words could reach the corners of her heart she had long forgotten existed. But love, Tunde learned, wasn't without its tests. One evening, a misunderstanding sparked tension between them. Ada misread a message from an old friend, her brow furrowed with unease. Tunde, sensing her withdrawal, tried to reach her, but she pulled away. The city outside their apartment felt too loud, too chaotic, mirroring the storm inside. Finally, Tunde confronted her. Ada, talk to me, please. I don't want us to fall apart over something we can fix. She looked away, tears brimming. I
I don't
don't
want
want
to
to be
be
hurt
hurt
again, Tunde.
again.
I've lost
I'm
too
not
much
them,
to risk
Ada.
it.
I'm here.
He
I'm
stepped
not going
closer,
anywhere.
gently lifting her
You
chin.
really mean that?
I'm
Every
not them.
word.
I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. Love doesn't mean no fear. It means choosing each other despite it. And I choose you, every day, every moment. Her eyes softened, the tension dissolving.
You really
You
mean
really
that?
mean
Every
that?
word.
I do, he said, voice steady. I mean it more than anything I've ever said. She threw her arms around him, and in that embrace, Tunde realized that love wasn't just fireworks and grand gestures. It was trust, courage, and the willingness to face vulnerability together. Months passed, and their relationship grew deeper. They celebrated anniversaries quietly, laughed at small victories, and comforted each other in setbacks. Valentine's Day became less about the city's noise and more about them. A shared moment of connection, a reminder of the stormy night that had brought them together. When the next Valentine's Day arrived, Tunde decided to surprise Ada again. This time, no rooftop, no fairy lights, just him, her favorite playlist, and a quiet park where they had shared their first conversation. He arrived early, laying a blanket and setting up small candles, letting the city's distant hum provide the backdrop. Ada arrived, eyes widening in recognition of the thoughtful simplicity. Tunde, this is perfect, she whispered. I just want to be with you, he said, taking her hands, to celebrate us and everything we've built together. You brought love into my life when I thought it was impossible, and I can't imagine a single day without you. Tears glistened in Ada's eyes, and she smiled through them. You brought me back to life, Tunde. You made me believe in love again. He leaned in, kissing her gently as the city lights twinkled around them. This kiss wasn't just passion, it was gratitude, relief, and certainty. It was the quiet affirmation that love, when it came, could arrive unexpectedly, sweep through the storm, and settle into the everyday moments that truly mattered. And as they lay on the blanket, watching the stars fight through the city haze, Tunde knew this. Valentine's Day had once been a reminder of loneliness. Now it was a celebration of connection, trust, and the extraordinary way life could surprise you when you least expected it. Ada turned to him, brushing her fingers along his cheek. I don't need grand gestures, she said. I just need you. This, us, is enough. Tunde smiled, holding her close. It's more than enough. You're everything I never knew I needed. As the night deepened and the city hummed softly around them, Tunde and Ada held onto each other, hearts beating in tandem. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't without fear, doubt, or the occasional argument. But it was real, and it was theirs. And in that truth, there was more magic than any Valentine's Day advertisement could ever promise. If you've enjoyed watching Tunde and Ada's journey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share your thoughts about how love can arrive unexpectedly, even on the stormiest days. Your support helps bring more stories like this to life. Weeks turned into months, and their love matured in ways neither could have predicted. Friends marveled at the change in Tunde. He laughed more easily, spoke with a warmth that hadn't been there before. Ada radiated a quiet joy, the kind that comes from knowing someone truly sees you and stays. They became each other's safe harbor in the bustling chaos of Lagos. One evening, as the sun dipped below the skyline, casting a golden glow over the city, Tunde took Ada to the bridge where their journey had begun. The wind played with her hair, and she laughed as he held her hand, memories of that stormy Valentine's Day flooding back. "Do you remember this place?" he asked. "I do," she said, smiling. "It's where everything started." Tunde smiled back. "And I want everything to keep starting with you. Every day, every moment. Will you stay with me forever?"
Will you stay with me
Ada's eyes
forever?
shimmered with tears.
Yes.
"Yes, Tunde.
1,000
1,000
times
times,
yes.
yes." The city stretched endlessly around them, but in that embrace, Tunde and Ada found their world. Love had arrived quietly, unexpectedly, on a rainy Valentine's night, and it had stayed, growing stronger with each passing day. And so the Valentine's Day that had once promised loneliness had instead brought Tunde his lover, his confidant, and his home. It was the kind of love that didn't just thrill, it endured, transformed, and stayed, proving that sometimes the most unexpected moments become the ones that change your life forever. If you loved this story, don't forget to hit like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more heart-touching African stories. Share this with someone you care about, and let them know that love can arrive when you least expect it.